Start by standing shoulder width apart. Swing your arms forward, trying to keep your back straight, almost like you're doing a front stroke. When you've done 12 rotations, swing your arms backwards like you're doing a backstroke. Next, we're going to do some sun salutations. So you're going to lean backwards, doing a nice back stretch, and bend forward at the hips. Go down into a slow push-up, rise up on the palms of your hands, get up on your toes, and stretch those calves back into downward dog. Step back up, reach back behind you, bend at the hips, fall forward, hands to the ground into plank, slowly lower. Reach up into cobra pose, onto the toes, and back into down dog, trying to get those heels down to the mat. Do one more. Remember to breathe as well through these poses. One more down dog. Make sure your back is nice and flat. And pop back up. Next is a leg swing. So steady yourself on a wall, and you just want to hinge your leg up from the hips and just swinging it backwards and forwards. Turn around and do the other side. Trying to get that leg up as high as it can go. Steady yourself on the wall, and you're going to bring your left leg in front of you, swinging up from the hip and in front of your body. And do the other side. Next, for the warm-up, we're going to do lunge with a side stretch. So you're going to step forward with your right foot, bending down and stretching over top of your head with your left arm. I'm going to try and do the same leg for all 8 times. And you can steady yourself with your hand on your hip, or if you want to make it a little bit more challenging, you can have your arm drop to your side. When you're stepping forward, you want your leg at a 90-degree angle, and you should be feeling that stretch down the other side of your body. Once you've done one side, then go to the next. Yeah, wrong leg. Other side, good. You want to do these fairly quick as you're trying to get your heart rate up a little bit to warm up the body for your workout. The last exercise in your warm-up, I'm going to do some side lunges with a dumbbell. So you're going to be extending the dumbbell out in front of you as you lunge to the side. So when you're lunging, you want to make sure your butt is going back behind you. Your knee is not tracking too far over the toe. So you want to do one side first before you switch to the other side. Try and keep those shoulders down as you're pressing out. So you're not rounding your back, you're keeping it nice and flat as you're lunging. Again, doing these fairly quickly because this is part of your warm-up, so you're trying to warm up the muscles. So next is walking lunge with dumbbells. So you're just going to hold a pair of dumbbells down at your side as you walk forward at a 90-degree angle on the leg. Ensure your shoulders are down and back, your chest is up and out. And try and have a stable core as well. So if you don't have space to walk, you can alternate legs in one spot. Next is sumo squat. So you want to have a wide stance for this with your toes pointing outward, dumbbell in between your legs. So shoulders down and back as you squat down, making sure you're pushing your butt back behind you again. You should be feeling this in your glutes and your inner thighs. Now we're going to be doing a dumbbell row. So you can do this standing like this. So you want to push your butt back behind you as you bend down, so you get a bit of an angle when you're rowing up. So you want to be bringing your elbows back just beyond 90 degrees and your dumbbells to your chest. Another way you can do this is on your knee like this if your back hurts from the standing position. So you want to do one arm at a time. You can also use a bench where you have your knee propped up on the bench and your arm as you're rowing. So you don't want your back rounded at all. Should be nice and straight. And pulling the dumbbell towards your chest. Next is a bench press with dumbbells. So you can do this on a bench, but if you're doing it at home, you can lie on the floor like so. Knees bent, feet on the floor, back nice and straight. And you just want to push the dumbbells up directly over your chest. Your wrists should be in neutral position, so nice and straight. If you're using a bench, you want to have your feet flat on the floor, dangling over the side. The tricep extension, you can do this on a bench as well or on the floor. So want your arms holding the dumbbells up nice and straight overhead and then just extending them back. So they should be at 90 degrees as well. So you don't want, you want your arms nice and straight up overhead when you're pushing, not towards your head. So the dumbbell should be just coming beside your ears and pushing up with your tricep. We have an upright row. So you want to stand feet shoulder width apart, holding the dumbbells in front of you and raising them up to your chest. So this is working your shoulders. So you want your elbows just coming slightly above your shoulder line. Nice strong grip on the dumbbells. You don't want to let your wrist flex too much. Onto the side plank. So I'm going to stack your feet and raise your butt up off the ground on your forearm and your elbow and extend that arm overhead. If you want to do something more advanced, you can try and do a couple leg raises. This is hard, so beginners probably don't want to try this. And flip to the other side. So I'm going to try and hold this pose for 30 seconds on each side if you can. You really want to have your core engaged as well for this exercise. The Superman, you're going to be wanting to push your leg back behind you and the opposite arm extending out in front. See if you can get it above your ear if you can. So when you're flexing that foot back behind you, you want to make sure your hip is nice and straight, so it might need to drop a bit.